Did you know Americans are among the most stressed out populations in the world? According to a 2019 survey on emotional states, over half of the American population experiences stress during each day. This is 20% higher than the world average of 35%. While stress is considered to have more of an effect on your mental health, it can wreak havoc on your physical health. And in today's video, we'll tell you how. From heart trouble, muscular problems, reduced brain function, hair fall, acne, and many more. Watch till the end to find out all of them. Number 1. Digestive system issues. Under stress, your liver produces extra blood sugar or glucose to give you a boost of energy. If you're under chronic stress, your body may not be able to keep up with this extra glucose surge. Chronic stress may increase your risk of developing type 2 diabetes. The rush of hormones, rapid breathing, and increased heart rate can also upset your digestive system. You're more likely to have heartburn or acid reflux thanks to an increase in stomach acid. Stress doesn't cause ulcers. It's actually caused by a bacterium called H. pylori, but it can increase your risk of them and cause existing ulcers to act up. Stress can also affect the way food moves through your body, leading to diarrhea or constipation. You might also experience nausea, vomiting, or stomachache. Number 2. Muscular system problems. Your muscles tend to protect themselves from injury when you're stressed. They tend to release again once you're relaxed, but if you're constantly under stress, your muscles may not get the chance to relax. Tight muscles cause headaches, back and shoulder pain, and body aches. Over time, this can set off an unhealthy cycle as you stop exercising and turn to pain medication for relief. Enjoying this list so far? Well, keep watching because there's a lot more good stuff coming up. But before we move on, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more amazing videos like this, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any updates. Number 3. Heart disease. Stress can increase heart rate and blood flow and release cholesterol and triglycerides into your blood. Sudden emotional stress can trigger heart attacks, abnormal heart rhythm, heart palpitations, and other serious cardiac problems. The long-term consequences of stress can increase heart rate, raise blood pressure, and put you at risk for cardiovascular diseases. Stress may also lead to bad behaviors like smoking, physical inactivity, alcohol abuse, and the use of illicit or prescription drugs. These poor habits can cause health complications like heart disease, as well as liver problems and sleep disorders. Number 4. Reduced brain function. Constant stress can lead to a buildup of cortisol in the brain, leading to long-term effects. Cortisol's functions are part of the natural process of the body. In moderation, the hormone is perfectly normal and healthy. In addition to restoring balance to the body after a stress event, cortisol helps regulate blood sugar levels in the cells and has a utilitarian value in the hippocampus, where memories are stored and processed. But when you experience chronic stress, the body makes more cortisol than it has the chance to release. This is when cortisol and stress can lead to trouble. High levels of cortisol can wear down your brain's ability to function properly. According to several studies, chronic stress impairs brain function in multiple ways. It can disrupt the synapse regulation, resulting in a loss of sociability and the avoidance of interactions with others. Stress can kill brain cells and even reduce the size of the brain. Chronic stress has a shrinking effect on the prefrontal cortex, the area of the brain responsible for memory and learning. While stress can shrink the prefrontal cortex, it can increase the size of the amygdala, which can make the brain more receptive to stress. Cortisol is believed to create a domino effect that hardwires pathways between the hippocampus and the amygdala, in a way that might create a vicious cycle by creating a brain that becomes predisposed to be in a constant state of fight or flight. Number 5. Obesity. Stress causes high levels of the hormone cortisol, a hormone that manages fat storage and energy use. That seems to increase the amount of fat deposited in your belly. Excess fat in the belly poses potential health risks like cancer, diabetes, and heart disease. Cortisol is also known to increase appetite and may promote cravings for sugar and fatty foods. Plus, you may overeat when you're stressed to cope with what's going on. It's an unhealthy coping mechanism, so obesity is an indirect result of the way you cope with stress. Number 6. Headaches. You're more likely to get headaches when you're stressed. Stress is a common trigger of tension-type headaches and migraines. It can trigger other types of headaches or make them worse. It's often an everyday stressor like traffic, work annoyances, or toddler tantrums that may impact your ability to cope. Along with that stress, you may clench or grind your teeth, which may lead you to TMJ. TMJ causes pain in your jaw and in the muscles that control jaw movement, which can also cause headaches. Number 7. Hair fall. Days or weeks of heightened tension can cause you to shed hair like a golden retriever in the summer. That hair loss can last up to 2 to 3 months after the stressful event or period, although your mane will typically grow back after your stress subsides. According to a study, elevated levels of stress-induced inflammation are to be blamed for the hair fall. Number 8. Ears ringing. One study found that the stress of having to change jobs increased ringing and other hearing problems among participants by 43%. fMRI scans have shown that the limbic region of your brain shifts into overdrive when you experience ear ringing, and that part of the brain is also known to handle aspects of stress regulation. The study authors say this limbic activity could explain why tension and hearing issues are connected, though they can't yet point to a specific mechanism at work. Number 9. Acne. Acne is one of the most visible ways stress often manifests itself. When you're stressed out, you tend to touch your face more often. This can spread bacteria and contribute to the development of acne. Several studies have also confirmed that acne may be associated with higher levels of stress. One study measured acne severity in 22 people before and during an exam. Increased levels of stress as a result of the exam were associated with greater acne severity. Another study of 94 teenagers found that higher stress levels were associated with worse acne, especially in boys. Number 10. Insomnia. Stress can cause hyperarousal, a biological state in which you just don't feel sleepy at all. While major stressful events can cause insomnia, that passes once the stress is over. Long-term exposure to chronic stress can also disrupt sleep and contribute to sleep disorders. One study found that higher levels of work-related stress were also associated with increased sleepiness and restlessness at bedtime. Another study found that 2,316 participants showed that experiencing a higher number of stressful events was significantly associated with an increased risk of insomnia. Number 11. Frequent illness. Stress can suppress your immune system, making it harder for your body to fight off infections from virus and bacteria. Studies have shown that people who are under chronic stress are more vulnerable to colds, and stress can trigger breakout of cold sores. People with long-term stress may be at more risk for developing an autoimmune disease like rheumatoid arthritis or multiple sclerosis. Flare-ups of asthma, eczema, inflammatory bowel disease such as Crohn's disease, psoriasis, and allergies are all associated with stress. There's also evidence to suggest that chronic stress may lead to insulin-dependent diabetes because stress causes the immune system to destroy insulin-producing cells. Number 12. Depression. It's not just the consequences of sleep deprivation that change the brain when you're stressed. For those suffering from constant and ongoing stress, long-term physical and mental medical complications can occur. Stress over long periods can change the brain, increasing the likelihood of depression, anxiety, and other mental health issues. Research found that stressed people showed slight brain shrinkage compared to relaxed people. It also showed that stress can physically rewire the brain, causing significant structural changes and alterations in activity. Number 13. Unhealthy food cravings. When you're stressed, you're more likely to make unhealthy food choices and reach for bags of potato chips instead of carrot sticks. Cravings may be triggered by an insufficient level of dopamine or serotonin. If you're under pressure, the adrenal glands produce cortisol, aka the stress hormone, while the brain has a low serotonin level. This induces cravings for comfort foods, such as those high in simple carbohydrates. After you consume them, insulin levels in the blood increase and stimulate the brain to release stored serotonin. You suddenly feel better, your mood improves, and you can function well. But this serotonin rush doesn't last long, and soon after, you'll generally feel tired and hungry again, and the same vicious cycle continues. Number 14. Decreased bone health. In a study of 11,000 postmenopausal women, researchers reported that those who cited high levels of social stress had lower bone density 6 years later. The subjects were asked to rate their social stress levels from everyday interactions, conflicts, and difficult life changes. Upon enrollment in the study, their bone density measurements were taken both then and at the 6-year mark. Women reporting high stress levels in their first interview showed a bigger decline in bone density compared to the women who initially cited lower stress levels. This was true even after the researchers adjusted for other factors that may affect bone health, such as age, weight, smoking, alcohol use, and education. The authors theorized that stress may harm bone health because it leads to higher blood levels of the hormone cortisol, a well-established reason for lower bone density. How often do you become stressed? Has it ever affected you physically in one of the ways that we mentioned? Let us know in the comment section below. Enjoyed this video? Hit like, share, and subscribe to Bestie. Wait! What kind of bestie would we be if we didn't tell you about our other awesome videos? Go ahead, choose the left or right video and enjoy.